Hello.
Hi guys. Oh, sorry about that. Welcome to Grandma Ingrid's. It's Grandma Ingrid and Nicole again. Today we are going to do a video on a 4-part series we're planning on doing over the next couple days. We are going to show you how to use a whole chicken, cut it up, and use it for 3 separate meals, 4 separate meals. 3 meals. So we're going to show you that you don't have to take a whole chicken and use it all for one thing. You can spread it out and make it go farther. Because right now, we all know we're not leaving the house and going to the store every day. So we want to use what we have in our house and benefit and maximize what we have. So today we have a whole chicken here.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's just a plain old chicken. Has nothing. It's got a few things on the inside, not much. This one didn't have everything in the cavity like a lot of them do. Have the neck and the gizzards and the heart and all of it. This had a little sad gizzard. But we're going to use it. And we're going to put it directly in the pot as we get ready to do this. And I do have some paper towels here. This came right out of the package. I just kind of patted it dry with a paper towel. I try to pat it dry so I can hang on to it so it's not so slippery. You don't want to stick it in your sink and wash it or do any of that.
So when I get it, it comes in that bag. I don't want to rinse it all off and wash all that salmonella off.
No, you don't. Because what you're doing is just spreading it all over your kitchen. And you're much better off just patting it dry with a paper towel. And it works great. And once you start cooking it, however you're going to cook it, it's going to kill all of that. And it's much easier just to kill it when you're cooking it than trying to kill it when you've got it all over your sink and anything else. So no, it's not recommended you take and wash your chicken.
So really quick, as we're cutting this up, you're going to see us put some things in this pot here, and that's because tomorrow's class we're going to show you how to make a chicken soup. So we're going to use our bones and the parts that we're not going to use for our other meals. We're going to turn that into the chicken soup. So we're only going to use some of the parts in our chicken soup. So you're going to see us put some parts in this pot. So that's what we're doing it for. So go ahead, Mom. What do we start with? How do we do this?
I am going to start with number 1. I have sharp knives. The worst thing you can have is a dull knife. So I have a plethora, I have 4 of them here, that I can choose from. And I am going to start by taking off the wings. The wings and stuff are real easy to take off. You can feel the joints. And I have to make sure my hands are dry.
So don't think I'm talking down to you, but just because we don't know where everybody's coming from, the wings are the ones with the pointy little parts on there that are flexible. Just in case, say, my 8-year-old, 9-year-old wants to learn how to cut this chicken, she might not know that. So we are going to show you, that's the wing that Grandma's talking about.
And I'm going to try to do this so you can see it. The best way, you got the knuckle in here, and you can feel it. Boom. There is the wing. Now, if you were going to take and you were going to fry it and do something.
Barbecue up some chicken wings.
You just push it back behind, and there you go.
There's our chicken wing.
There's your chicken wing. But we're not. We're just going to throw it in the pot. Because I'm not going to debone these. I'm not going to make wingettes or drumettes, as they call them. I'm just going to cook it up. And
there's our second wing.
Now, actually, this is a fairly large chicken, and there's a lot of meat on there. We'll get that meat off of that, so it's not going to go to waste. So then I want to go from there. We're going to get our legs and thighs. This here is the thigh, and this is the leg. And we're going to open it up, and you can see right in there where that joint. See how that just broke apart? That just shows you. It's a guideline.
This is one of the biggest chickens here,
Yeah.
and it's got these big old legs on it. But I remember as a kid, or my dad used to always tell us, he got the leg of the chicken. He had a big family, and when you do the wing, you always had to divide the chicken up. So a lot of you of the older generations, you probably got one specific part every time because the siblings in age order got the better parts.
And being he was a baby of 10. I was the oldest of 7, so
she got the pick of the chicken. Where if you're the youngest, you might have got the wing. I know when I was in my travels in Africa, they gave me the back and the neck part because they thought that was the best part of the chicken, had the most flavor. So they gave that to me because I was a guest in the family.
Now here's the thigh, and there's the leg, and I'm just going to take actually the skin off because we're going to show you how to debone that. And there is a lot of meat on that leg. So I may even just take a little off so we can add it to the stuff we're going to use the rest of the week. But I am not going to take and just completely debone the leg.
Now, a lot of you, this might gross you out, but you have to do what you have to do. And if all you can find is a whole chicken, you're going to have to pull up those big girl panties and cut up a chicken. You might see me making faces because it does kind of gross me out, all the chicken juices flying around the kitchen. But it's something you have to learn to do. It's a good skill to know how to do anyways, because it makes really good chicken soup. Or, you know, you can get a lot out of a meal. Or fried chicken. If you want a fried chicken, you don't want to just buy the boneless, skinless chicken breast because they're going to get all dry. They're not going to make a good thing. And my mom, she was telling me, you know, it's a good skill to learn how to do, but when in times like this, when you're not running to the store all the time, you don't want to fry up your whole chicken and use it for one meal, and then you're stuck. You don't have any more meat for the rest of the week. So that's why we want to show you what you can do with them. And we know we had people who asked us for casserole recipes, things like that. So we're going to incorporate kind of the casserole aspect in some of the meals and show you. And there's going to be tons of different things. We're working on our blog. It should be up this week. And we're going to have some other chicken recipes on our blog as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when it goes live. We're frivolously working on that. So there's a lot of chicken going in our pot here. So we're going to have enough meat to have our chicken soup.
The thing is that we eat way too much meat anymore. And you don't need to.
So what did you just do there? You just broke the back.
I broke the back. And then I'm going to go right down.
The rib cage here.
Go right through it. And pull it. And you can see there is a lot of meat on this chicken.
And you know, the beauty of having this video is you can run it back and forth and watch how she does it. But please, if you have questions, ask us below and we'll get back to you after the video is done. Or we can answer you if you message us or anything like that on kind of tips or tricks, or ask Grandma what she did again.
Yep, and that's another piece of back. And I have to tell you, this one was in the freezer and it is cold. So, now I'm going to go right down the middle of this breast. Now these are big breasts. But now that is how you cut up a chicken. I mean, as far as cutting it up,
let's show them. We have our
thighs
here. Our breasts.
Our breasts here.
We have our...
And here's our leg, our wings, and here's our leg that I took some of the meat off because there was so much meat.
And then you have the back and the neck there part. So you have quite a few parts of that chicken that you can cut off. You don't have to just buy boneless, skinless chicken breast or thighs, or you can have a plethora of different things. With these meals, we're going to take the skin off. If you wanted to do something with your chicken, leave the skin on and have some skin on there and make it all nice and crispy. If you were going to
put it in the oven or do something with it, the bones and the skin, you're going to get a lot more flavor. When you don't want a nice dry chicken breast, you leave the skin and the bones in. When you buy a boneless, skinless chicken breast at the store, what you're going to get is a dry piece of meat. I just took the skin off of there, and I'm going to show you now. We're going to take the bone off of here because I'm going to use it in our soup.
And we're going to use the chicken breast in tomorrow's meal and the next day's meal. And there's so much meat. It's so surprising to me how big this chicken is. Now, if you have, say, an organic chicken or a chicken from, like, say, Whole Foods, they don't have, a lot of times, these Foster Farms big, huge chickens. They have the smaller ones. You're going to have a lot of good flavor, but you're not going to have as much meat. But you can still stretch it out to feed your whole family, because we are going to have other fillers with our meal, so you don't have to eat all the meat. You're going to have a little bit of meat and a starch and a vegetable and all that stuff, so you don't have to fill up on the meat. Because like my mom said, we here in the United States, we eat a lot of meat, too much meat in most cases. So we're going to make a nice, even, balanced out meal where it's not all just meat. Don't worry, guys. We will fill your tummies up. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you'll get plenty to eat. You just don't have, you won't even miss it. You won't even know that that's not, you're not getting 2 or 3
Grandma's going to feed you. If any of you guys have been to our house and been to our classes, or have been here because you've known us for, 50 years, you know Grandma is going to feed you. She's going to make you leave where you're going to be like, if I eat any more food, I'm going to pop. So you don't have to worry about this meal not feeding you. So just hang with us. She's going to get this bone off.
I'm going to get this bone off. It's cold. There it is. There, it's the wishbone that was stuck, and sometimes they do stick a little bit. But I'm just going to pull this all off, And no, you're not going to eat these bones tomorrow, but they are going to flavor this soup up.
We're going to make our broth out of it. So it's going to flavor up your soup here.
Okay, this chicken breast here has no bones on it now, if I get that little piece off. And that little piece I'm not going to put in there because I just have to pull it out tomorrow. But I'm going to put a thigh and a breast in a Ziploc bag, and I have the bags all ready.
And she has the bags, and it's easier if you have them labeled, ready to go, before your hands are gunky. We have them open. She does have me as her sidekick, but I'm going to hold this bag open so we don't get all the germs on the outside of the Ziploc bag, because that's just disgusting. Nobody wants that. So I'm going to hold the bag open for her, and she's going to slide the breast right in there. And what we're going to do is, you could do 2 breasts in a bag. Label what you have in your bag. And I'm going to do 1 breast and 1 thigh because I like breast. My mom likes thighs. We're boob and thigh girls. But so we want to share that meat. So when we make our meal tomorrow, we're each going to get the kind of meat that we like in our meal. But you could do 2 breasts in a bag or 2 thighs in a bag. No big deal. We'll put some of those other parts in here too. But we're going to label our bag, and it's dated. So if we're going to take this and throw it in the freezer and not use it for a couple weeks, we know what it is when we pull it out. We know how long it's been in there and what it is, because that's the worst thing when you're mystery diving into your freezer and you go, what is that? What was that? I don't know. And you're trying to remember. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants a mystery meal. So we're going to label it up real good. And I'm going to get my other bag here so when she's done with that breast, we can put it in this bag.
Now, if you're going to go directly into, okay, I'm going to make the casseroles now and put the casseroles themselves into the freezer, then you can skip this part. But make sure you have everything laid out before you do that. And I know we don't have all the recipes out for you today because we're just doing this day by day, trying to keep everybody going. And but we are enjoying it. We hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm just going to take the bone out of this thigh.
And you see she's scraping her knife down the bone. That's to get all the meat she can off and into that thigh. It's not going to hurt the meat. Yeah, it might have a little bit of shreddiness of the part that came off, but it's going to make a delicious, tender thigh. So you don't have to worry about it. We're not going out of beauty. She's not, getting judged on her deboning skills. She can debone a whole chicken and leave it whole and stuff it full of rice-a-roni. That's another video. If somebody liked it the other day, you may be able to find it on our Facebook page if you search back in our old videos. But she leaves the whole chicken all deboned. She takes every bone out of it and leaves it whole, and so it looks like a whole chicken when she stuffs it. So it's a lot of fun. But she has her thigh here.
Here's a thigh. And these are just a couple pieces of leg meat. And to me, the dark meat has much more flavor, and it holds the juices, and it's better. Now, she prefers
the white meat.
The white meat.
I don't know why. I always have. It's probably because I was, in our family, the youngest got the worst meat, which is the breast meat. Everybody else got the most meaty, juicy meat. I don't know. Maybe we're backwards, but I always like the breast meat.
Yeah, I prefer the thighs. I like the dark meat. But whatever, with these casseroles and the things that we're going to make coming up, we're going to share. We're going to use both together, and we'll mix both flavors, and it'll be delicious. So, but we have just about got this done.
And the reason why we're doing it like this, with all this, and you want all your stuff together, you want to keep all these germs contained on your cutting board. You don't want to spread it around your kitchen. So that's why you want to have all your stuff laid out, ready to go, and not digging around your kitchen when you still have stuff on your hands. You just want to finish the whole process and get it done. If you're working by yourself in the kitchen, I would recommend cutting it up, putting on your cookie sheet there, and then going and washing your hands and getting your bags open and putting them in there like that. You don't need to have gloves or anything. You just wash your hands with good old soap and water, and you'll be fine and safe. So while Grandma cleans up this mess, she's going to carry this all over. I'm going to start on this broth that we're going to do for the chicken soup. We're going to make chicken soup tomorrow. So I have all my parts in here. And I have right here, you can see, I have my onions. I just have one onion. I'm going to dump that on in there. I have 1 stalk of celery. This is all just to flavor your broth. It's not going to make your soup because once the broth is all developed, we're actually going to add more veggies to it. Carrot, 1 carrot. Is actually 2 carrots because they were little carrots that I got, little ones with stems still on it because that's all I could find at the store. Some garlic clove, just minced up. We're going to throw that in there. And what this is going to do is flavor this water. And I'm going to add my water. I always say add water that you would drink. You don't want to, use water that is weird and gross. You want to use water that you're going to drink. And it's covering my chicken here. I'm going to turn this on and I'm just going to let this boil. I'm going to boil this chicken. It's going to take several hours. It's going to tenderize all that meat. It's going to start falling off the bone. If you leave it in there where it's all completely fallen off, like say for like 8 hours, it's going to be harder to pick all those bones off. You want to catch it at that point where the meat's starting to fall off, but you can pick up the whole chicken and put it on a clean cookie sheet and take all the meat off and put it back in your pot. Then you don't have mystery bones floating around your water. But if you do, it's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is this soup is going to be for tomorrow's video. So we're going to pick up where we left off. This broth is going to be boiling for several hours. And what we're going to do when it's done. So if you're following along with us right now and you've cut up your chicken, or you're going to in a few hours, cut up your chicken and do the same process so you're ready for us tomorrow. You're going to cook this all. We're going to leave the meat and everything on the bone, but we're going to put it in a container like yay big, 2 inches deep.
No more than 2 inches deep.
No meat more. We're going to put it in there and we're going to put it in the fridge so it can cool properly. That's the most important thing. This is going to go in the refrigerator, chicken, broth, everything. We're not going to toss anything away so you won't miss anything. It's going to go in there and it's going to go in the fridge. And we want it to cool evenly. You don't want to put it in a big bowl like this and in the middle it's not going to cool. That's going to get your family sick. 2 inches, let it cool overnight, and we'll see you back tomorrow.
We're not going to fill this pot all the way full with water because we'll add more tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we want it to be able to have more room in our refrigerator and to cool properly. So if you have a great big pot of water, it takes a lot more space in your fridge to cool properly. So just make sure you want it covered, nice and covered, and it will be a thick stock, so that you can add more water to it to make your soup.
All right, so we're going to meet you back tomorrow for part 2 where we make chicken soup out of this broth. So you guys stay happy, stay healthy. We love you all, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye. And enjoy. I hope you're having fun with these.